Dr. Saunders, I'm Jeff Bauer, the head football coach. What has been your involvement in external funding, specifically related to athletics?
We're working on an athletic sport complex, multi-sport complex right now. And so we had 3 phases, and so most directly and most recently, we are now on the last $2.5 million at Wisconsin for that complex. And so I've been involved with, a lot of times the president tells the tale, beats the drum. And so I call on lots of people. We have a pretty little brochure. I remind them how much ground we've gained, and so we're moving forward on. And so I spend a good bit of time doing fundraising with my athletic director, and we're this close to really wrapping up, and I think positioning the university up there for a long time to come. And I'm going to add a little bit. One of the things that is important also is coordinating athletic fundraising with other fundraising. And I've been, there were a few disconnects when I got there, and I think we've sort of resolved them. Sometimes when you have different groups trying to raise money for other groups, they'll all call on the same people. And, but we've been able to make it a more coordinated effort, and one that I think is much more positive and productive. Yes?
Dr. Saunders, I'm Bob Nixon. I'm a local businessman and a USM graduate. I've had the privilege and opportunity to serve as president of the Alumni Association, the foundation, and the Athletic Foundation. In a time when we see state funding decreasing and the dependence on external funding increasing to a great extent, I can tell you from 40 years of trying to help this university that it's a lot easier to accomplish those financial goals when you have a good, sound athletic program to use to do it. Some here will try to have you believe that athletic programs must decrease in order for academic programs to increase. I don't believe that for one moment. I think they complement each other. I would like to ask this question, and from what I've heard about your love for and support of athletics to other places in the community may not be necessary, but I'd like to ask you anyway. I'd like to know if you are selected as president of our university, would you be willing to do whatever it takes to help us keep and maintain a viable Division I Conference USA athletic program?
You probably don't know that was more than a one-part question. Let me think. I will do whatever it takes and whatever I can to maintain a first-class athletic program. And the caveat I'll put in is that I work with the athletic director, and 10 years from now, there may be or 5 years from now, there may be other opportunities that he may recommend. And I'm sure he would not recommend them without having consulted with this group. So mostly yes, but let's leave open opportunities for the future too.
I would like to say something. I'm Becky Saddington. I'm a alum of USM. I love USM. I'm also a member of the Athletic Board Foundation, and currently the chairman of Women Promoting Athletics. It's a new venue, so we're really excited about that. You know, it's so important that the president of a university be politically connected. Tell me about your networking, where you are now politically.
Are you talking about elected officials?
Yes.
Oh, we're close. I spend a great deal of time with elected officials. For one thing, I live 45 miles from Madison, and Madison's the capital of Wisconsin, and so I'm just more drawn there. But one of the things, there has been some tension in our state between members of our General Assembly and the university system. And so those of us in leadership roles have spent a lot of time communicating. I have regular briefings with our legislative delegation. They come to the campus at least once a semester, one-on-one. I give them a personal sort of an update on maybe some of the things that they may be reading about or they may be hearing about. And then we go for a walk. And we walk around the campus, and I take them to the cafeteria, and they sit down with students, and we meet, and I've developed a good personal relationship. But we also do a legislative breakfast 2, maybe 3 times a year, where we bring them in. My staff is there, they're there. We take the gloves off, and we really talk, and we hammer it out. And we talk about issues that are important to them and hot buttons. And we at least are there to give our points of view. And that has been very, very beneficial as well. Communication is very important. One of the things that when I arrived on my campus, it is very bad when a campus feels like they can't go to the campus leaders. And there were individuals on my campus and situations before I got there that they felt like they couldn't go to the leaders, they needed to go to the legislators and tattle. A lot of that has subsided now because we talk more. And so that's very, very important, and also has been very productive as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
Saunders, I'm Billy Hughes from Gulfport, and I want to tell you, I've heard a lot of good things about you, and hearing and reading in the paper the other day you have 7 children. You must be outstanding at time and resource management.
6 boys.
Yes, ma'am.
I told the group this morning, when I talk to high school counselors, I am able to tell them there is nothing you can describe that I haven't lived firsthand. Including almost having to wear a bag over my head to go to the PTA meetings because of something one of our fun-loving boys had done just that week in class. And I'm afraid they drove more than one new teacher away from the profession, so I kind of owe a debt there.
Well, boys are gonna be boys sometimes.
Yeah, and now they are all grown, pretty hypocritical. They do not recall having ever done anything other than being pillars of the community, but they do.
I'm really glad to hear about your openness for open lines of communication and willingness to have a good balance on things. And we've got a great athletic director here and fine coaches across the board who express a very good quality of life. And I'd like to ask you one thing. What religion are you?
United Methodist.